Hey everyone, Reddy Linx here. Topsy Turvy.
Hey man, you good?
Yep, just under a bit of a runny nose.
Oh, it's okay, man. Don't worry. Hope you feel better soon. Also, hey everyone.
Florida will join in the chat,
I
but
see.
yeah.
I see.
Anyways, welcome to number 19 of Reddy Linx's Choose Your Own Adventure livestream. Today's story is Ship of Ghouls. It seems to be like in a cruise ship kind of story. For those of you who are new to this series, basically, me and the guests will try and get one good ending in these books with 3 tries. So if we get 2 bad endings, then that's okay. But the third ending, that's it. So this is book number 36 in the Give Yourself Goosebumps series. So yeah, I'm gonna need you guys to listen carefully. I'll read the Beware page to start it off. Beware! Do not read this book from beginning to end. Good news! You're about to go on a 2-week cruise on the world's most luxurious ship, the SS Fanatic. Even better news, your parents are staying on shore. You know, you and your best friend are sure to have an awesome parent free vacation. That is, until the ship sets sail. You overhear another passenger talking about gulp, a bomb on board. Is this guy just a harmless prankster or a real life terrorist? Will you and your best friend be able to figure it out before your vacation ends with a big bang? This scary adventure is all about you. You decide what will happen, and you decide how terrifying the scares will be. Start on page 1, then follow the instructions at the bottom of each page. You make the choices. If you choose well, you'll make it home again. But if you make the wrong choice, beware. So, take a deep breath, cross your fingers, and turn to page 1 to give yourself goosebumps. So we have a terrorist attack on our hands.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, if you can say that. Yeah, terrorist attack, basically.
So basic so instead of sharks, we're facing terrorism.
Yeah, I guess in a nutshell you can explain that basically.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna put this in the chat. Here you guys go. Now, without further ado, oh, by the way, this is another physical copy of the book.
Oh, nice.
So without further ado, let's get right into it. On page 1. Awesome. Totally cool. Indeed impressive. Your best friend Glenn, and your father stand staring at the biggest ocean liner ever built, the SS Fanatic. Your mom is finishing a call on her cell phone. When she's done, you'll all board the huge cruise ship to Japan. You can't wait. This vessel will displaces 100,000 tons, your dad declares. It sails at an average speed of 25 knots. Isn't it extraordinary? Whatever you think, it's not like he expects an answer. He's always coming up with educational facts and figures. Your parents are okay, but 2 weeks alone with them on a boat, that would be torture. You're glad Glenn's parents let him take this trip with you. Glenn sometimes acts like a wimp, but he's more fun than parents. You're eager to board. You've seen the brochures. There are video arcades, pools, gyms, and movie theaters, and awesome food. Beep, beep, beep. Your mom's cell phone interrupts your daydreaming. She answers, then frowns. Oh no, she groans. Not a good sign. Go to page 2. Your mother clicks her phone off. She slips it into her purse. There's a work emergency, she explains. Your mom and dad run a business together. Looks like we have to cancel the trip. What? You cry. You can't do that. We're about to board. You're about to start whining and moaning. But it's not like you're 4 years old. You're 12. Try logic, you think. Glenn and I can still make the trip, you argue. We'll be okay. I mean, we'll be on a boat, a contained environment. What could go wrong? Well, already something could go wrong. Your parents letting their children alone on a cruise?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Sounds a bit
All
off.
right. Yeah, but I'm getting ahead of myself.
It's okay, man. Don't worry.
Right. Your parents give you a look. Then they talk quietly with each other. Finally, they chat with the ship's steward. I'll keep an eye on them, the steward promises. Which makes you want to laugh, because the steward has weird bulging eyes that never seem to blink. But you control yourself. Your mom phones Glenn's folks. They agree to let him go. Yes! You and Glenn slap high fives. In 2 weeks, your parents will fly to Japan and meet you when the ship docks. Until then, you and Glenn are totally parent free. Let the fun begin. It starts on page 9. So instead of parents, we have some strange steward following us. I wouldn't quite trust that if I was the parents, but that would make too much sense for a Goosebumps parent. Anyways, let's go to page 9. Crew member leads you and Glenn to your cabin on B deck. It's tiny but totally cool. You peer out a round window, the porthole. You're high above the waterline. There's a map of the ship on the desk, the sailor tells you. Thanks. You glance at him. Strange. You think as you watch him leave, how can he stay so pale working on a cruise ship? He looks almost he almost looks slimy. You find a souvenir magnet in the shape of the fanatic. You slip it into your pocket, right next to a paperclip, some gum, and some other junk. You glance at your watch. The ship is about to leave. You're excited, but you're also a little nervous being on your own. Not that you would ever admit that to Glenn. Let's check out the ship, you declare. Deal. Glenn grins. He grabs the map. Then you head out to explore. Okay, where should we go first? Glenn unfolds the map and studies it. Arcade? Pool? It all sounds fun. Let's just wander around, you suggest. Up ahead, several crew members huddle together. They stop talking as you and Glenn pass. That's weird, you think. What's the big secret? Stroll to page 48. You and Glenn turn a corner. Then you climb up a flight of stairs. Then you turn another corner and come face to face with a huge silver door. You reach for the door handle. Stop right there! A voice booms behind you. You and Glenn slowly turn around. A sailor in a fanatic uniform strides toward you. He plasters a big smile on his face. Sorry, kids. Equipment room. Off limits. On your way back to the main corridor, Glenn studies the map. Weird, Glenn mutters. That door isn't on the map. Really? You peer at the map. He's right. We should double check where we are, you suggest. We might be reading this map wrong. Let's go ask the sailor. You head back around the corner. The sailor is gone. You notice a passenger carrying a black bag. He's a plump, older guy with a round face and a bad haircut. He glances around, then bolts through the silver door. What's his story? Glenn, let's follow that guy, you suggest. Nah, I'm hungry, he replies. Let's grab some food first. All right, given our first choice in the book, grab some
Cool.
food or follow the passenger.
Uh, Wait, aren't they not like alone still without their parents or something stupid?
No, we are alone. It's just that we have stewards watching us.
Oh, I see. I see. Okay. Uh,
There's some guy who looks plump and he has like a black box.
follow. I
Could that be? Could that
follow
be
him
the
out.
terrorist?
Maybe follow him out of curiosity, but then again, if you can grab food as well, I mean, there's no right option. I mean, it seems like we're
I'm
gonna find.
I'm
Yeah.
very curious to see what would happen if we just
Yeah.
grabbed food, but I
Eh.
think we're just coming back to this page if we do that.
Yeah, exactly. It's not. I mean, this is not gonna. This can't really. I mean, will it? No, because the first choices don't really end up in bad endings. Not usually. So, like, I mean, and we're gonna find out about the terrorist either way by the looks of things. So, I'm just gonna say follow that guy.
I'm very. I need to know what happens if we grab food first. So if this is wrong, then it's on me.
Sure, it's okay, man. Don't worry. I don't
All
object
right,
to it.
all right. Let's grab some food. You let Glenn and talk you into eating first. Wow, the snack bar is like a dream come true. It's filled with dessert stations, sandwich bars, pasta salads, and fruit baskets. I can't wait to see the spread for dinner, you exclaim. Best of all, the food is free, and you can get seconds, thirds even. The only bummer is the people serving the food. They aren't very friendly. They act as if they resent you from being there. Some of the servers snicker at the passengers when they think no one's looking, as if they know a funny secret. These guys obviously like, "Ugh, I don't get paid enough for this," or
Yeah,
I'm about
basically.
to go on break and then we just pull up and like, dang it. They
Yeah.
clearly hate
That.
their jobs.
Yeah. Clearly, they clearly they're only there for the money. Clearly, yeah. Well, they don't get paid as much. I don't know. They don't get paid as much as others. Either way, it sounds like they hate their job.
Yeah. Whatever. You're not gonna let them spoil your fun. You scarf down a burger and stuff a ham sandwich into your pocket. Now it's time to follow that suspicious looking dude. What? You scarf down a burger and stuff a ham sandwich in your pocket. It's literally the same thing, except now we have a sandwich in our pocket.
Interesting.
I guess I've never seen them punish us for having extra inventory.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
what if
interesting.
that's bad?
I mean,
Oh,
depends how you look at it. I,
the shark is chasing you. Do you have a sandwich in your pocket? Then you die. But
yeah. I mean, I guess it
it's
just
not a
depends, you
it's
know.
it's not an ending. It's just we go back to that thing, that page from earlier.
Yeah, true.
You know what? I'm not gonna go too hard on extra inventory.
Fair. Yeah, honestly, look, I understand. Like, they could punish us for extra inventory, so, be careful,
Yeah. Either way, let's go back to page 54. You and Glenn go after the sneaky looking passenger. You glance around, all clear, no sailors to stop you. You dash through the huge silver door. You find yourselves in an empty stairwell. You head down and discover a corridor of strange closets. Well, it looks like that sailor was right, you comment. Nothing very interesting down here. Where did that guy go? Glenn wonders. You spot a light on under one door. Shh. You hold a finger to your lips. You tiptoe to the door and swing it open. Inside, the passenger kneels over his black bag. The man jumps in surprise. Then a different expression crosses his face. His eyes burn into you. Get out! He screams. You're in terrible danger! Get off the ship any way you can! Turn to page at 14. Uh-oh. What did you get yourself into? This man is nuts. What if he attacks you? You and Glenn take a few steps backwards. Sorry we bothered you, Mr. Bosco, the man mutters. My name is Tom Bosco, and one day the world will thank me. He rummages into his bag. You can tell Glenn is as worried out as you are. Easy, Mr. Bosco. You try to sound soothing. Calm. You point at the bag. What's in there? It's a bomb, Bosco declares. I'm going to blow up the ship. You stare at him, stunned. Without warning, and he pushes past you and out to the stairway. You hear him clattering down the steps. Glenn bursts out laughing. What a weirdo. But what if Bosco was telling the truth, you wonder? Maybe we should tell the crew about him? You suggest. Nah, Glenn declares. We'd freak people out for nothing, if they even believe us. Alright, we're given a choice. Tell the
Mhm.
ship's security about Bosco, or ignore him.
I mean, should we tell them? Because are they gonna really believe us? Like, because I know there's like a whole thing where if it's like, oh, tell the parents that what's going on, they'll be like, oh, you're silly, just like, like, come on, you're just imagining things, like, it's fine. They won't believe us. I know it.
But these ain't no parents. This is a full cruise ship of employees.
True. Hmm.
I say
Oh,
we report him. What about if
yeah.
you have any objections, tell me.
No, no. I mean, it's worth it. I mean, doing nothing though. At least here, it's like if we do nothing, nothing gets done about it. The ship gets blown up. We all die. The end. But then if like this, at least we kind of tried. You know what I mean? Like we kind of, at least we did something about it.
I say we report Bosco.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Sure.
Alright, if I can find that page again. Let me see. Alright, page 6. You have to warn security about Bosco's threat. If he does have a bomb, you don't report him, well, that would make you dead? You find a crewman on the upper deck. You and Glenn tell him everything. Well, you do. Glenn just snickers. But the crewman takes it very seriously. He runs off to tell the captain. A few minutes later, you see some big, hulking guys tearing through the door to the lower deck. Let's follow them, you whisper to Glenn. He nods. I want to see what happens to that nutcase. You peek around the side of a wall. You spot the crewmen shoving Bosco into a room. They slam the door shut, then one of them pulls something out of Bosco's bag. Your eyes widen in astonishment. You can't believe it. It's a bomb. Bosco was telling the truth. But why does he want to blow up the ship? You wonder. And you can't help but think, was he telling the truth about the other stuff too? Are you in danger? Turn to page 21. Alright, page 1. You have to talk to Tom Bosco and find out the truth. You and Glenn hide as the crew leaves. Then you creep to the door at the end of the corridor. You yank on the knob, but the door is locked. Duh, big surprise. You glance over your shoulder. Good, no sign of the crew. You knock on the door. What do you want? A voice inside asks. We're the guys who turned you in. Wait, sorry. We're the guys who turned you in, Glenn explains. Really smart, Glenn, you groan. Bos Bosco goes bonkers. You idiots! He shouts through the door. You'll soon wish I destroyed this ship and everyone on it! You hate being called an idiot, but you stifle your anger. What's the deal? You ask. Tell us and maybe we can help. The deal is this. Bosco's voice drips with cold fury. This whole cruise is phony. It was set up by a lunatic, a mad person who intends to use the passengers as guinea pigs in a horrible experiment. You gasp. What kind of experiment? Now Bosco's voice quivers with fear. To turn passengers into into what? Find out on page 8. I gotta. Sorry, I just to blow my nose.
It's okay, man. Don't worry. Take your time.
Alright, page 8. The passengers are going to turn into monsters, Bosco declares. What? You have to be you have to be kidding. Glenn rolls his eyes. This is no joke, Bosco shouts. The same scientist ran a cruise last year. I was the only one to survive. The others were all in charge into hideous things. Wait, we're all changed into hideous things. In a place called the Room. I never found out the scientist's name, but I've been tracking the cruise lines. This is his handiwork. I must stop the horror from happening again. What are people changing into? Glenn asks. Before he can answer, you hear the crew returning. Quick, you tell Glenn. We have to get out of here. You duck around a corner. You watch two burly crewmen open the door. They drag Bosco out. We're taking you to the room, one growls. Bosco screeches. No! The room, the one Bosco was talking about, exists, you realize. Does that mean the rest of his story is true? And an even bigger question, what should you do now? Go after them or get some help? Are we given a choice? Go after Bosco yourself or try to find help?
Huh. Try. Should we? No. Okay, hang on. I don't think this time. I don't think we should tell security because they definitely will. They believe us? I don't know. Or I guess you can say like the crew members. I guess you can say here.
Well, I'm not too sure. But what if these men catch us and they put us in the room too?
Yeah, good point actually. Huh. Uh. Yeah, that is a good point actually. Oof. I mean, I would say go. I would say chase after them, but then we risk what you just said, and if we go tell people, we also risk uh what's it called them not believing us. Ooh, I mean, one's clearly the wrong answer here. So
That's what I think.
yeah, I mean, I mean, we could tell the crew members. I mean, if they don't believe us, I mean, we still have a chance, but at least we're not dead. Like not dead, but at least we're not turned into monsters or whatever. Yeah, I say go tell them. Go, I mean,
Yeah. Also,
yeah.
also Florida. Also, Florida is just in here.
Oh,
Disconnected. Hold on. All right, Florida's joining.
hey
Hello,
man.
Florida. He said he's gonna talk in the chat, so
Oh,
like
I see.
private
I see.
messages.
Oh, I see. It's okay, man. Don't worry.
All right. Well, at least you're here now. All right. To recap the story, basically we boarded a boat and our parents had to get an emergency, a work emergency, but they put they put a steward to watch us and our friend Glenn, And when we're on this ship, we see a man who is his name is Tom Bosco, who said he was going to blow up the ship. But we chased after him and reported him to the crew. But it turned out he was actually trying to blow up the ship because the ship had was was for because the ship had a bunch of experiments going on. So yeah, there and now we don't know if we believe him or not. So yeah, that was just a quick recap of Florida. Anyways, we decided our next choice. We're gonna go tell someone. We're gonna go get help.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
all right, let's go get help.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You can't go after Bosco on your own. You need help. But who can you ask? Who will believe you? Unbelievable story. Who will believe your unbelievable story? You and Glenn sneak back to the main deck, pass through a tremendous lounge. Passengers sit and sip iced tea, read, and relax. If they knew what was really going on with this ship, with this cruise, they wouldn't look so calm, you think. You run your hand nervously through your hair. You wonder what to do. Someone taps on your shoulder. You turn around and see a woman with salt and pepper hair and a fancy flowered scarf around her neck. My name's Mrs. Bass. You look upset. Can I help you? She seems like a nice lady. So you tell her about Bosco. Mrs. Bass looks shocked. If this man is telling the truth, we're in danger. The authorities must be alerted. Another passenger overhears your conversation. He bursts out laughing. My name's Smith. I think you should ignore Bosco's story. He sounds like a loon. He rubs his stubby chin. Mrs. Bass disagrees. Tell the captain, he'll help. Smith seems kind of obnoxious. He gives you bad vibes. You decide to take Mrs. Bass's advice. You go searching for the captain. Search for him on page 12. You learn that the captain is in the navigation room on the top deck. You knock on the door. Come in, a voice booms. You stick your head in. The captain beckons you to approach. He's a tall, silver-haired man with a beard. How can I help you? You tell him your story. He springs into action. Mr. Fisher, he barks at his lieutenant. Go with these children. Question the man with the bomb. If somebody's using this cruise to harm our passengers, I want to know about it. Aye, sir. Aye, sir. Fisher replies. You lead Fisher to the room where you last saw Bosco. Hey, the room is empty. A couple of crewmen huddle nearby. Fisher wheels around, facing you and Glenn. We can't let you interfere with our plans, he snarls. But we'll get rid of you before you spook the passengers. We offered this cheap cruise as bait, and all you suckers fell for it. You don't scare me, you declare. The captain. Fisher interrupts you. Take them to the room, he thunders. Okay, that's it. He just officially scared you. Go to page 3. You have to get away from these maniacs. You shove Fisher into the crewmen hard. They fall down in a heap. Let's book it! You yelled at Glenn. You both start running at top speed. You race up the steps. You hear Fisher and the crew right behind you. You push open the door leading to the main deck. Fisher's voice echoes in the stairwell. Those kids will wish they'd never been born, he shouts. Yikes! You exit the stairway on a floor with a sign that says main deck. Whoa! The main deck is the length of 3 football fields. The stairs let you out midship. In front of you, you see rows of cabin doors. Behind you, the enormous lounge is filled with passengers. Which way do you which way you go to flee from the which way do you go to flee from the crew? Are given a choice. Run forward on page 16 or turn around and head for the crowded lounge on page 7.
Hmm. Turn? Because then we have more cover, but then going straight doesn't have any obstacles, but it's easier to find us, so.
Well, wait a minute. What if they tell the passengers what's going on and then the passengers start coming to us and then they have more people to chase after us?
Good point. Yeah, I'm not risking it. I'm just gonna go straight. Like, sorry, but I, I
All
can't
right,
I can't risk that. Like, you know, like we
all right,
can't.
we're going to
Come on.
run forward. We're going to run forward.
Wait, did Florida say something? Yeah.
We're Yeah, he did. He said good
Oh,
point.
oh, I see. I see. Uh, yeah,
Yeah.
sure, run
If
forward.
you want to know what he's saying, then go to private chat.
I see. I see.
All right. Either way, we're running forward. This way! You dash forward. You and Glenn try every cabin door lining the corridor, but they're all locked. Your feet pound as you tear along the corridor. This is running like a marathon! You huff to Glenn. You burst through a set of double doors at the end of the hall. You're at the front of the ship. You gaze at the deep blue ocean. You've reached the end of the line, a voice says. You whirl around. Fisher smiles a nasty smile. He snaps his fingers. He and his crew advance toward you and Glenn. They slowly back up until you bump into a deck rail. Behind you is nothing but open sea. You're feeling desperate, so you come up with a desperate plan. You put one leg over the rail. Come any closer and we'll jump, you yell. We will, Glenn squeaks. The crew pulls up short. For a moment, then they keep coming. Plan A isn't working, so you come up with Plan B. Jump! You scream to Glenn, and you leap over the rail. Land on page 34. Did we jump off the boat?
Yeah, basically, or we jumped off to a lower platform. It depends. But I mean, they're at the very front of the boat, so I'm imagining it's like there is no lower decks. I guess you could say that they're literally just falling into water. I guess. So, yeah, I guess simply you could say they just jumped off.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
Splash! Did you and Glenn fall into the ocean? You tread water and glance around. No, you landed in a swimming pool. We need to get out of sight, you tell Glenn. You scramble out of the pool. Nearby are the crew's sleeping corridors. You sneak inside. Quickly. Luckily, it's empty. You and Glenn duck behind a large trunk. Two crewmen enter. Well, get those pesky kids, one mutters. They can't hide forever on a ship. You peer around the side of the trunk. You watch a crewman grab a shaker full of fish food. That's weird, you think. I don't see a fish tank anywhere. He holds his shaker up and sprinkles it into his mouth. Gross. When the other crewman takes off his shirt, you see something even grosser. Ew! Go to page 98. Gosh, are we gonna see like fish anatomy or something?
I guess you can say that. Yeah, probably depends.
We're gonna I
I'm
think we're gonna
guessing.
see a fish body.
Yeah, yeah, I reckon the same.
Well, let's see. He has scales. Running across part of his chest and back are shiny gray fish scales. Your stomach lurches at the sight. Glenn covers his mouth. The scaly guy changes his shirt. Then the creepy crewmen leave. What's with those guys? Glenn is so freaked out, his voice squeaks. You don't blame him. You're freaked out too. Your brain rails as you try to think of an explanation. But you can't think of one. There must be a connection between those two guys and what's going on in the room that Bosco mentioned, you figure. That's why we have to find it. That's where we'll learn what is going on here and how we can stop it. You and Glenn creep out of the crew's quarters. Glancing around, you notice extra large garbage bags piled by the ship's stern. They are fenced off from the rest of the deck. Let's hide in let's hide in those garbage bags, you suggest. After everyone goes to sleep, we sneak out and search for the room.
I have a better idea.
Glenn declares.
I think we should go to the top deck. That's where the bridge is. We could probably find a phone there and call for help.
I would give it a choice. Follow Glenn's advice or stick with ours.
Ooh. Um.
Here's
Okay.
something I think. Something tells me that if we hide in those garbage bags, they're gonna dump it in the ocean.
Yeah, probably. I mean,
They gotta they
knowing
gotta they gotta take the trash out somehow.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and they said something about because remember when they had the whole like experiment thing, that I mean, there's nothing saying that they're not exactly moral people. Like, there's nothing saying that they won't just throw stuff up, like aboard, like off of the ship. Like they're definitely doing some questionable stuff. I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go. I don't think the first plan's good. I'm sorry, but like
Yeah, I think
seriously,
we should follow Glenn's instead of ours.
yeah,
If
agreed.
we hide in those
Because
garbage bags, I think they're just gonna dump the trash into the sea.
yeah, and then we just get eaten. So
Yeah, let's follow Glenn's.
hmm
That's page 65. All right. You sneak up to the bridge on the top deck. This is where the communication equipment is located. You hope you'll be able to call ashore for help. You and Glenn hide behind a high coil of ropes. You wait until the officer on duty has stepped out. You rush onto the bridge, your heart racing. Oh man, no phones. You slam your you slam your fist down in disgust. Then you notice a bank of circuit TV monitors. The screen shows views of different parts of the ship. One view is of a door. You make out a sign on it. See deck crew only. On the screen, a crewwoman opens the door with a key. You poke Glenn. I think C deck is the lowest deck. We should see if that's where the room is. Glenn sighs.
Do we have to?
Yes, we have to find the room, you insist. It's our only chance to save all the passengers and ourselves from being transformed into monsters. A bunch of keys dangle on the wall. You grab the one labeled C deck. You head down to C deck. You slip the key into the door and unlock it and step through. Find out what you're stepping into on page 41. Alright, I gotta pull my nose. Alright, page 41. You enter a honeycomb of storage areas. You realize everything needed during the voyage is kept in here. You find plenty of mops, ropes, and tools. Tools, machinery, but nothing that looks like it could be the room. Nothing even suspicious. Dejected, you walk down still another corridor. You hear voices coming your way. Quick, you whisper to Glenn. In here! You duck into the ship's vast pantry. Boxes of bread and cereals and plastic containers of beverages are piled high. But you notice something bizarre. You spot several barrels of chum, mashed up seafood, used as fish bait. There, also, there are also vats filled with live worms, as well as big tubes of fish food flakes. Why do they need these on a cruise? You peer closely and see that all the containers of fish food are scented are stenciled for D deck.
I don't remember seeing D deck on the map.
Glenn says. That's weird, you respond. And why do they need worms and chum down there? You find the door to D deck, but it's locked. Well, we found the way to the mystery deck, I declare. Now the mystery is how to get inside. Go to page 38. Alright. You glance around the pantry. Bingo! Put into the vat of worms, you order Glenn.
You've got to be kidding.
He retorts. Look, you explain. This vat is marked for D deck. If we hide inside it, they'll take us there. I know it. Glenn gives in. He slips into a vat full of live, wriggling worms. You join him. Ugh, the glistening worms crawl over you. You keep your mouth shut tight so they can't crawl in. The red, wriggling creatures are in your hair, sliding into your ears. Gross! This is the most disgusting thing you've ever done. It's off the barfometer. You wait an hour, trying not to breathe in the earthworms. Then the vat starts moving. You feel it rumble. You, Glenn, and the worms bounce around, then stop. You wait till it seems safe. Then you climb out of the vat covered in slime. Yes, you made it to D deck. Go to page 42. That that's probably one of the most disgusting things we've ever experienced in a book like this.
Yeah,
I mean,
agreed.
other than like Stink Eye Swamp, probably, but
Yeah, true.
in
But
a
it's up
vat
there.
of worms, in a vat of worms, that no, all right.
Yeah, it's up there.
Anyways, yeah. Anyways, page 42. D deck is dark and dank. Water drips from overhead pipes. The air is clammy. You creep along, your heart pounding. You have no idea what you're going to find out here. You reach a dead end. There's a single iron hatch in the floor. Well, there's nowhere to go but down, you declare.
That's what I was afraid of.
Glenn mumbles. You turn a wheel to open the hatch. You stare down into blackness. A ladder descends into what?
Did I ever tell you I'm afraid of the dark?
Glenn asks. What aren't you afraid of? You respond with a sigh. I'm not afraid of,
I'm not afraid of worms anymore.
he answers. As you climb down, you step into water. The place is flooded. By the time you touch the floor of the chamber, the water is up to your waist. You glance around the chamber in the dim light. You notice only one other way out. A hatch on the opposite wall. You and Glenn sloosh forward. Something touches the back of your leg. A chill runs through you because Glenn is in front of you. Go to page 124. Something bursts out of the water. Something huge. You can't believe your eyes. Behind you, two giant lobsters rise out of the water. They must be 6 feet high. Their pincers are as big as jackhammers. You tremble into the horrifying sight. Glenn whispers beside you. These aren't just giant lobsters. They're horrible mutants. With human legs, human eyes, noses, and mouths. You want to flee, but your legs won't move. We were once like you, A lobster booms. Passengers on a cruise. The boss changed us. The other lobster lunges towards you. And now we want fresh flesh. Yours. Yikes! You've eaten lobster before, but you've never been eaten by a lobster. You have to get away, but how? They're blocking the way you came in. Can you reach it before the lobsters catch you? You glance up and spot a steam pipe on the ceiling. Hey, don't restaurants steam lobsters? Maybe you could try that. Okay, we're given a choice. Try to rush past the lobsters or try to break the steam pipe.
Hmm. Ooh. Okay, this is wait. It didn't say what the pipe was made out of, but if I'm guessing, it's like this is like steel. This is steel. I think this is a ship after all. It's steel. I mean, is it steel? I don't know. It's
It
most likely
doesn't
steel.
really say, but here's the but the lobsters were like 6 feet tall. They're
Oh, oh,
and
yeah.
they want fresh flesh. They want to eat us.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like I don't know. I don't think we can outrun these things. Definitely, they're huge. They're like, so what? They're like the same size as an average adult. So like, outrunning them, I don't see outrunning them really. Hmm.
Yeah, I
Ooh,
say we. It's. I think it's worth a shot to break the pipe,
yeah, yeah, I gotta agree it. Yeah, sorry, but I gotta agree it. We
even
have
if it
to.
isn't steam. It would at least be something we could splash on them. Oh, okay. So, I guess we'll break open the pipe. Page 67. All right, here we go. The creatures come at you. You don't think you can outswim them, so you jump up to grab the steam pipe. No, you can't reach it. The lobsters are closing in. Alright,
Sorry,
welcome
man.
back.
Thank you.
Okay,
Sorry, man. I just have to go for a second.
it's okay. Anyways, we chose to break the pipe.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The lobsters are closing in. Their huge pincers snap together. You know they can crush you, tear through your body. Give me a boost! You scream to Glenn. He cups his hands. You put your foot on them, then leap onto his shoulders. Glenn starts teetering. You grab for the pipe and miss. Stand still! You shout. Glenn freezes. You bend your knees and jump. Your fingers wrap around the pipe. You do a chin up and get your arms around the pipe. It starts to bend under your weight. But the pipe is really hot. It's burning your hands. You can't hold on. Fall to page 126. I guess it is a steaming pipe.
Seems like it. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's hope it breaks. Whoa! You fall into the water, but you're still holding onto the steam pipe. It breaks in two. Boiling hot water pours out. You jump out of the way. The chamber instantly fills with steam. The water starts getting hot. Lobsters crawl away from the pipe. While they scramble around to avoid the hot water, you run to the ladder. The water around you is beginning to bubble. You reach the ladder and start to climb. Glenn is right behind you. From several feet up, you see the lobster creatures thrashing in the water. Their hard shells are turning bright red.
What's happening to them?
Glenn asks. They're being steamed alive, you answer. You stand to watch. You open the hatch and pop through and see something incredible. View it on page 79. Turtles standing right in front of the hatch. Not the little ones you keep in a box. These guys are are humongous. What's even more terrifying, but what's more horrifying are the human heads sticking out of their hard green shells. The turtle shuffles slowly toward you. You and Glenn back up.
What happened to you?
Glenn and blurts, "We were transformed in the room," a turtle with a mustache declares. "We were passengers on an early cruise," the other turtle explains. "The boss changed people into something part human, part sea creature. The first experiments didn't work well," the mustache turtle adds. "The results were more human than animal. Those people became the ship's crew. Others turned out less human, like us. The boss is trying for the perfect blend, half human, half sea creature." Your eyes widen in shock. What a terrifying story. And you and Glenn are trapped in the middle of it. A third turtle lunges toward you. You gasp. Flip out on page 55. It's the guy who threatened to blow up the ship. Tom Bosco. Sort of. Only now his head sticks out of a giant turtle shell. "This is your fault," Bosco snarls. "I'm a reptile because you turned me in." You're stunned to see him. Whatever. "Hey," you gulp, feeling really guilty. "I'm sorry about what happened to you." He points his front flipper at a distant wall, where a steel cage door is swinging open. "And I'm really sorry about what's going to happen to you," he growls. Bosco yanks his head into his shell. When you see what comes through the cage door, you wish you had a shell. A very large shell. Go to page 4. What you see is terrifying. The bottom half of the creature is a man. The top half is pure shark fins. Instead of arms, a mouth lined with teeth like chainsaws. The hairs on the back of your neck stand up. Glenn freaks.
Can we go back on deck now?
You shake your head. There's only one real way out of this whole thing, you realize. You turn to Bosco. "How can we find the room?" "Now you want me to help you?" he answers sharply. "Please," you beg. Begging is a whole lot better than dying. Bosco sighs. He pokes his head back out of the shell. "Go through that cage door. The room is back there."
I don't trust Bosco,
Glenn whispers.
he may want to get back to us. We should go that way.
He points to a door at the end of a catwalk, 10 feet above the floor. The only way you can reach the door is by climbing a rope dangling from the catwalk's steel framework. Not so easy, but the shark man strains between you and the cage door. Even less easy. Alright, we're given a choice. Try to make it past the shark or climb up to the catwalk.
Whew. Whew. Okay. Okay, I'm assuming this shark is like also like 6 foot, right? I mean,
I
these
mean, it
things.
doesn't really say. It did say it's like the bottom half of the creature is a man, the top half is pure shark fins.
Ooh.
Oh, wait, no, it's pure shark. Fins instead of arms, a mouth lined with teeth like chainsaws, the hairs on and teeth like chainsaws.
Hmm. Huh. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think we can get past them. I'm being serious. I don't think we can. Uh. Uh. I'm just gonna say climb up the catwalks and like there's no way we're getting past him. I'm sorry, but like just look at him. He's very powerful, I guess you can say.
Alright, well let's hope the catwalk is the right way.
Uh huh. Sure.
Alright. We're climbing the catwalk on page 62. You're not sure Bosco is telling you the truth, and you don't want to deal with the shark man. "Head for the rope!" you yell to Glenn before the startled shark man can react. You're halfway up the rope. The shark can't climb. It has no arms. Frustrated, it gnashes its hideous teeth. You pull yourself onto the catwalk. "Yeah, we made it!" you howl. Glenn is pale, but manages a small smile. You run to the end of the catwalk, open the door, and step into a small hallway. The only way to exit is by elevator. You press the button.
I hope nobody's in there.
Glenn worries. Your stomach is doing flip-flops. You don't want to get caught in this dead end either. A minute later, the elevator door opens. The car is empty. Phew! You frantically press buttons. The car rises, then stops short.
The elevator stalled.
Glenn shrieks.
We're stuck.
You press all the buttons, but the elevator doesn't move. You glance up. There's a small square trapdoor built into the car's ceiling. You've seen enough action movies to know that the door opens into the elevator shaft. But can you make it like an action hero? Take action on page 60. You climb on Glenn's shoulders and push up the trapdoor. Then you pull yourself through. A moment later, you're standing on top of the elevator car. Above you is a dark, creepy elevator shaft. The door's about 10 feet. You call down to Glenn. We'll have to climb the cable to reach it. You pull Glenn up through the trap door. He stands next to you on the roof of the car.
Can we climb this cable?
He asked nervously.
It's so greasy.
The steel cable is greasy, but it's the only way. You climb up. You climb up a few feet. Then you slip down a few feet. It's a slow, agonizing struggle to climb the 10 slick feet. The work makes your arm muscles burn. Finally, you pull even with the double door. You stretch your upper body toward it while holding on to the cable with your legs. You try to pry the two doors apart with all your might. Sweat pours off you. You're stretched like a rope between the doors and the cable. You can't hold on much longer. Go to page 77. With one last mega effort, you try to pry apart the doors. You grunt. You slide open the door a foot and a half. You pull yourself through. You did it! Glenn slowly makes his way up the cable. You pull him through the door. You both collapse, exhausted. You can't waste time on the floor. You stagger to your feet and step outside. You sunk you suck in the salty air. You're back on the sea deck. Belch. You're covered in axle grease and soaked in sweat. To cool off, you stride across the deck to the railing. You lean over, staring down at forty, the, the frothy waves. Great job, Glenn cries. He slaps you on the back. Oops. He smacked you too hard. Your greasy body slides over the rail. Whoa! When you hit the sea, you slice deep underwater. You push yourself to the surface. You wipe the water off your eyes. Glance up. Glenn is up the top deck. You see the horrified expression on his face. The ship glides slowly away, making like an action hero's slippery business. Guess this is one happy ending that slipped away. The end. Wow!
Yeah.
Glenn,
Wow.
you freaking moron.
Bro.
Yeah, we were so greasy that even a pat on our back made us fall off the ship and into the water.
Like what? Like what?
Even
Like
though we were able to get out from the elevator shaft, we were so greasy from the cable and sweaty that we were so slippery that Glenn's pat made us fall off the ship when we were trying to cool off.
yeah. Well, I mean, to be honest, in his defense, he like probably did it out of appreciation. But like then again, like he could have just waited. You know what I mean?
Well, to be fair, it probably wasn't. Probably he probably wouldn't do it on purpose. But
Yeah.
either way, this was a bad ending.
True.
All right, so I guess we're gonna go back to page. We're gonna go to page 67 to try and and try and run past the shark guy instead.
Mhm.
I guess the shark was the right thing. I don't know. This we'll see about, or maybe. Hold on. Wait a minute.
You okay, man?
All right, it was page 80. Yeah,
Oh, I see. I see. I see it. Okay,
this is
sure.
where we were back with that shark guy.
Mhm.
All right, we're gonna run past the shark now. For some reason, you trust Bosco. Maybe it's because you once had a pet turtle. You face the shark. Saliva drips from its mouth. It can't seem to speak, but you read its body language, loud and clear. It wants to eat you. Getting past this monster will be hard. Hard. That's it. Bosco's shell is hard. You kneel down beside Bosco and whisper your plan. He agrees. Help me pick up Bosco, you order Glenn. You get Bosco upright. You and Glenn push Bosco toward the door. Use the turtle's shell like a shield. The shark bites down on Bosco, but the shell is hard as a rock. You strain to keep the turtle between you and the vicious fish. It's only a few more yards to the cage door, and safety. Now! You shout. Together you slam Bosco's shell against the shark. This pushes him away from the steel door. Go! You scream as you dive through the cage door. You pull it shut, but behind you, the door locks. Hello, an unexpected voice greets you. Go to page 36. You and Glenn are stunned by who you see. What are you doing here, Mrs. Bass? You ask. She looks dazed.
I was kidnapped by the crew and taken down here. I managed to escape, but there is a cage full of passengers who didn't escape. You have to help them.
Where are they? Glenn wonders.
Near the boiler room.
She points to a dark passage.
I must warn passengers on the upper decks.
She stumbles away. You turn to Glenn. We have to free those people. He squints at Mrs. Bass as she reaches down the corridor.
She really knows her way around the ship.
He notes. As you walk toward the boiler room, the air becomes hotter and hotter. Sweat drips off your face. The corridor turns and widens. Built into the space is a large steel shark cage. Mrs. Bass was right. It's filled with people. Go to page 5. There are about 20 prisoners in this cage, all passengers from the ship. They're dressed in swimsuits and shorts. Some have white sunscreen on their noses. Most are sitting or lying on the cold floor. They look sick.
I feel nauseous.
A woman moans. Please, help us! Help me! Another cries. The door of the cage has an electric lock with numbers on it. To open it, you need to punch in the correct code. A green light indicates the door is already open. There must they must be too weak to leave the cage, you realize. We need to help them out. You and Glenn step inside. Suddenly the door clangs shut behind you. The sound makes you jump. Hey! You wheel around. The person who shut the door has already darted around the corner. You glance at the lock. The light on it glows red. You know what that means. You yank on the door. Yep, it's locked. Go to page 50. I need to blow again. All right.
It's okay, man. Don't worry. Take your time, please.
Ugh. Okay. All right, page 50. People are moaning all around you. Then something makes you gag. A skinny man is transforming right before your eyes. His skin is getting rougher and scaly. His body blows up like a weather balloon. He looks like a pufferfish. Across from him, a young girl's body flattens like a pancake. Her legs turn into arms. And oh, gross! She's growing a fifth arm. She's morphing into a starfish. You have got to be dreaming. You blink, but the incredible sense doesn't vanish. The boss must, the boss must have performed experiments on these people before we got here. You gasp. Glenn's eyes are wide with terror. The horror doesn't stop. One kid is turning into a red snapper. Another looks like a bluefish. Hungry! He groans through a mouthful of razor-sharp choppers. The thought hits you. Fish eat meat, you gulp. Your meat! Go to page 72. I hope this is where we could give them the ham sandwich from the start of the book.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Sweat pops out on your forehead. We have to get out of here before it's feeding time at the aquarium, you tell Glenn. You both you both tug it on the door, but it won't budge. Your eyes land on the kid writhing on the cement floor. She's becoming an electric eel. You know that fish is totally deadly. Behind you is a little old man with thinning white hair. As you watch, his jaw fills with piranha teeth. They look like serrated steak knives. You know, the kind that can cut through a tomato in a metal can. A nature program you saw once told you piranhas can eat a whole cow in 2 minutes. So this giant one could probably scarf you down in 20 seconds. Oh man, you have to get out of this cage. Wait, the electric eel. Maybe you can use it to short out the cage's electric lock. Of course, the eel might short you out permanently. On the other hand, you can press the numbers on the lock and hope you hit the code. That opens it. You don't have much time to decide. Which is it? Alright, we're given a choice. Use the electric eel to open the door, or try to hit the code to open the door.
Ooh. But do we know the code? That's the question, though.
I don't think we do know the code.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the electric eel. I mean, it's obviously like, what's it? They're obviously like
Can
electric.
she control her? Can she control her shock, or can she not?
Yeah, but yeah. To be honest, that's a good point. Ooh, I'm guessing yes, but like,
I'm just gonna say this: we don't know the code. It never
yeah,
said anything about us knowing a code.
yeah,
If it did, they would have told us it.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I never said anything about knowing a code. I'm just gonna say just
I say we use the electric eel girl.
yeah.
All right, we're gonna use the electric eel. Page 44. Let's try to short out the lock, you decide. Glenn agrees. Cool. He stoops to pick up the eel. Wait, you shout. Electric eels produce major voltage. If you touch it, you'll fry. You glance around the cage. That's it. You're both wearing running shoes with rubber soles. Rubber doesn't contact electricity. You take off your shoes and stick your hands into them. Using the sneakers as mittens, you and Glenn pick up the eel. You carry the eel to the door and slap it against the electric lock. There's a crackling noise. The lock short circuits, and then The light turns green. The steel door is now unlocked. You fling it open. But the fish people are right behind you. Flee to page 68. You and the fish creature spill out of the cage. The piranha man nips at you. but you easily outrun him. Where is the room, you wonder, as other fish people stumble by. Just then a woman passes you. She has reddish fins on the sides of her back. She's turning frantically in circles. You nudge Glenn. What's wrong with the salmon lady? As you watch her, she runs toward an exit sign like she knows where she's going. Glenn points at her.
Follow that fish.
How come? You ask.
Salmon always return to where they were born.
Glenn explains. So? You ask.
She was born in the room. She's returned there to give. She'll return there to give birth.
Glenn! You cry. You're a genius! You tell the salmon lady. She leads you through a maze of corridors deep down in the ship. She pushes through a door. A sign on it reads, "No one admitted to the room." This is it. You found it. Go in on page 90. You follow the salmon lady inside. Calming yourself, you examine the clean white room. It's filled with microscopes, a ton of high-tech lab equipment. Shelves are lined with rows of fluid-filled test tubes. The labels read shark DNA, tortoise DNA, rockfish DNA. There are hundreds of tubes, each with the generations of a different fish. You stare at tiny fish floating in jars and formulate hide you get. A formulate hide. I don't know how to say that, but you gasp. Some have human features. Wow, this must be where the boss conducts horrible experiments. But who is the boss? Why does he want to do with these horrible experiments? At the back of the lab is a door marked private. You tingle with fear and excitement. You certainly you're certain you'll find the answers. Maybe this boss guy in the next room. You pull open the door. What you see inside is beyond belief. Believe on page 32, 132. 32. What you see is Mr. Smith, the guy who told you not to warn the captain about Bosco. Facing him is Mrs. Bass. Each holds a syringe.
Move a muscle and I'll turn you into a floundrin. Into a flounder.
Mrs. Bass threatens Mr. Smith. Go ahead, make my day. Smith counters. One of them must be the boss, you realize. Mrs. Bass shoots you a quick glance.
Help me, she cries. He's the boss. I came back to the room to stop him. Now he's threatening to inject fish DNA into me. Save me.
She's lying, Smith shouts. She's the boss. My real name is Wolf Moldy. I'm a special agent of the Federal Fish and Game Department. I've been searching for the boss for years. I finally tracked her to this ship. I've already called in reinforcements on my cell phone.
He's insane,
Mrs. Bass screams.
Pick up that fire extinguisher and shoot it at him, kids.
Don't listen to her, Smith orders. Shoot the extinguisher at her. Hurry! You grab the fire extinguisher. Whoever you squirt will be blinded for a few seconds. Then you can overpower the boss. Whoever that is, are we given a choice? Do we listen to Smith or Mrs. Bass?
Oh.
We never saw Smith after that one encounter.
Yeah, yeah. True.
But Mrs. Bass strangely knows her way through this whole ship.
Yeah, very, very interesting, per se.
Wait a minute. I think I know what's going on. Remember remember when we and Glenn spotted a salmon lady entering the room?
Yeah.
What if that salmon lady is Mrs. Bass?
Good point. Probably.
It's probably Mrs. Bass, and not Mr. Smith.
Okay, so now knowing that, I'm just gonna say spray Mrs. Bass. Like seriously, like you
Yeah,
can't.
let's
I can't
listen
trust
to
her.
Smith.
Yeah,
Let's
I can't trust her.
listen to Smith.
Yeah.
All right, page 137. Mrs. Bass has to be the boss, you think? She had the chance to lock you in that cage. And how did she know her way around the boat so well? You spray her with the fire extinguisher.
So,
Mrs. Bass shrieks.
I can't see.
The foam was temporarily the foam has temporarily blinded her. Glenn grabs your arm and knocks away the needle. It clatters to the floor. Mrs. Bass drops to the floor in agony. You quickly find some electric cord to tie her arms behind her back. We beat Mrs. Bass! You cheer. The nightmare is finally over! Or is it? Smith turns to face you. He still grips the syringe tightly. He advances towards you. The needle is pointing at your chest. Wait a second. Is he the boss after all? The smile on your face fades. You back off. You don't want to become some tuna or squid. Smith's stubbly, sweaty face looks grim. He keeps coming. He mutters, You. Back toward 134. You are a hero! Smith drops the syringe and gives you a bear hug. You sigh in relief. You put the boss out of business! Smith continues. She won't be turning people into fish anymore. You and Glenn high-five each other. You can't stop grinning.
I'm a hero too.
Glenn declares. Are you fishing for a complaint? For a compliment? You snort.
Duh.
Glenn comments on your dumb joke. Speaking of which, Smith adds, you kids care to join me for a fly fishing trip next week? We already caught the biggest fish ever, you answer, looking over at Mrs. Bass. Smith steers Mrs. Bass to an elevator. It leads to the upper decks. The Coast Guard ship that Smith told you he alerted on his phone pulls alongside the Fanatic. I just realized too, Fanatic, Fin Attic.
Yeah. Good pun.
Yeah, Fanatic, Fin Attic. You get
Yeah.
it's for fin, shark fin. All right. They round up the boss's thugs, including Mr. Fisher. Listen, guys, bargains with the authorities. I'll tell you everything. Mrs. Bass did. Mrs. Bass did if you let me go. Mrs. Bass goes ballistic.
You miserable little goldfish. Before any
Before anyone can react, she breaks away and tears off Fisher's shirt. For the big, for the big fin alley. Go to page 69. There's a lot of fin puns here. Fin alley.
Yeah, there's a lot of
A lot of
them.
fin jokes in this one.
Yeah.
All right, page 69. Running along Fisher's back is a narrow golden fin. Well, you always thought he was a fishy character. The sailors howl Mrs. Bass, Mr. Fisher, and the other Fanatic's crew onto the Coast Guard ship. Other sailors stay on board to steer the ship back to California. When it docks, the mutant passengers are sent to live in aquariums around the country, except for the extra large turtle named Tom Bosco. It turns out Bosco is a lawyer from San Diego. It's your fault I got changed, he tells you. You owe me. I'm not going to be put on display. I'm staying with you, or I'll sue your whole family. Your folks are a little put off by Bosco, but you're good sport. But they're good sports. They let you take Bosco home with you. You keep him in the garage. Bosco repays you for his tank and turtle food. He does your he does your parents' taxes and helps you sue the cruise line to get your money back. Wow, you think? Who would have realized lawyers make such good pets? The end. We did it!
Wow. Yeah.
Good ending.
Yeah, but wow.
And we get to keep the mutated Tom Bosco as a pet.
Which is a bit weird, but like, whew, I mean, it's a
But
good
hey,
ending.
at least we got a good ending.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, either way,
Mhm.
I hope you guys enjoyed this choose your own adventure of Ship of Ghouls. Next time, we're back to another special edition with Weekend at Poison Lake. I can't wait to see what that one's all about. Anyways, be good people and remember to stay healthy and see you next time. Goodbye.
Mhm.